power, right?
But then in like the 5th season, there would be 16 of us as combined heroes.
And that would be equal to Dawson's power.
You see, the whole point of it
16
was...
of us is equal to one
The point is, gender swapped Jacob, a tank with boobs.
Oh wow!
versus Cole's power.
Wait, but see, what if then it turned out though that Cole was also gender swapped?
Of course he would be.
Well, then his power would also be.
I would make my own boobs bigger.
Well, no, how about his power would also be gender swapped, so he could make every dick bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
And then his arch nemesis in that world.
Okay, so this multi-universe thing is kind of confusing.
Alright. So we'll just focus
I
on
haven't
your
been
universe.
paying attention to the multi-universe.
But basically, in your universe, Vince is the one who can communicate with me in some way. And another one, there's a Connor, and another one, there's a Jacob, and another one, there's a Cole. Each of you have a main one who can communicate with me.
The point is, I'm number 1 because I'm from the real us.
There's no real one.
Actually, there is, and it's us.
The only real reality is Dawson's real reality.
The one I create.
And and he created us first. We're his favorites.
Basically, I made 4 originals and spread them throughout the realities.
So basically, one of them, you picked a favorite from each world. So I'm this world's favorite.
No.
Of the 4 of
what
us,
he's
I'm
saying,
the favorite.
Vince, what he's saying, Vince, is you're one of the originals in another universe. I'm one of the originals in another universe. Cole's one of the originals.
Oh, and then all the other
another
ones that aren't
the
one
one
contact are like duplicates.
Yeah.
Slightly altered duplicates.
Basically, yes.
So
Each
I'm
world
a
has
duplicate of my other self in another universe, but I'm in that universe. I'm able to talk to Dawson. I get what he's
So then,
saying.
will there be 16 of us in the battle versus him, or will it be the
There will be
4
actual?
Or what if?
It goes all DC up in this place.
At the end, you aren't really duplicates, but one of you in each universe is the main fragment, and then in the other universes, they're like a piece of you. So basically,
It's like
you have
the
more
Master
power.
Emerald.
So you have to gobble them up.
So no,
You have to eat. You have to go through the mental torment of eating yourself alive.
Would it make more sense
I think
though if, perhaps in this universe, Vince were to kill all of us, and in the next I would have killed everyone else, and in the next, that way there's only the 4 originals left.
Well, you see, the thing is, it's not so much the originals
Perhaps when
as...
we fight Dawson, all the different versions of you combine into the one primary one.
You see, you all have more powers than you do in each universe, but you have to get them from your other selves. So you basically have to combine with those ones.
Okay, so do we like hold
Basically,
we hold
time-
hands, we lock hands and start singing like
level
friendship is power or the power of magic or whatever, and then we just like kind of phase
Yeah.
each other and
What I was saying earlier. Like our
Friendship is
spirits.
magic.
Our spirits are like cores that Dawson put into us, and you can take the core from your other selves and absorb it into your core.
So what you're saying is
So
solely
you kill your other selves, but you have to try and find a way to convince or force your other selves into allowing you to absorb them.
In other words, you have to convince them that you are the correct one.
Or I have an idea. All of your fragments are gender swapped, and so you have to have sex with your fragments.
But there are 4.
force them.
Please, a foursome with 3 of me? Like,
or should you perhaps have 2 swaps, where you have the different genders and you have the good and evil?
And I could make their boobs bigger? Like
I said, when you go to each individual world,
that is my dream.
When you go to each world, though, you won't be able to use your powers in the next one.
How about this? We sort out the first universe, and in the second universe we'll sort that out, and then so
Yeah,
on and so
let's just
forth.
go one at a time here.
God damn it, we're like jumping ahead of ourselves.
We haven't even finished one universe yet. You haven't even cleared World 1-1 on Mario.
and we're trying to jump to the final cast.
So the point is, World 1-1. Cole, you're a girl. Jacob, you're a girl. Connor, you're a girl. I am the only guy.
Oh man. Thank you for making me a woman.
And he's going to f you all.
I'm gonna get on Photoshop now and make a woman version of myself, thanks.
I knew that was gonna happen.
But then, does
I'll have
that
it done
mean
in a
that
week.
Cole's power is also influenced, as we had said before.
So I can make.
So by that
No, you
logic,
can
does
make-
that mean that there's any random
You can make people's furnaces
association?
bigger and smaller.
There's any random association where I could be a girl, or I could be the only guy, or so on and so forth, or infinite combinations.
Is
like
Vince just making this some wacky rule to where everyone but the primary one of that universe is a girl?
Exactly.
That seems like it's pretty sexist.
That would be amazing
Yeah.
for my
Yeah,
world.
you get to the final battle, there's 12 girls and 4 guys.
That would be amazing for my
No.
world. Like,
Point is, when you have sex with your female self, you absorb her into you, and then
It just became bore. It just became bore.
no, like,
At the very end,
well,
there
by
will only
Vince's
be.
logic
No,
of
I
there
don't
being
know.
and we'll have 4 futas.
That's what you all. That's what you'll all be at the
So
end.
listen to this. By
don't worry,
by
I can make our
Vince's,
boobs bigger and more
I'm gonna
voluptuous.
alter Vince's logic a little bit and say that there's a combination for each one of them. So there could be 2 guys, 2 girls, no guys. You know what I'm saying? So
And
there's
you fuck-
24 possible universes.
And you still have to fuck them.
There's 24 possible universes
No.
with 4 different people, and that sort of.
Or you could just sum it up to 2 opposites, where you have both genders and then there's another opposite, like good and evil or something.
No, I decided to make it 4 because I don't feel like watching too many episodes of a TV show at once. Damn it. This is a TV show to me. I'm watching you play.
Since I'm like chaotic neutral, what would be
And
the
one of
opposite
them you
of
would
that?
be like,
Who's everyone's
Would be
favorite?
lost
Or not,
in
elite
not
neutral.
chaotic
character?
neutral. Not
you
chaotic
would
neutral.
use your boob powers to help
chaotic.
people.
Yeah, I'm chaotic neutral.
Yes, you're chaotic neutral.
Yeah, you would use your boob powers to help people. So you just like work in like a plastic surgery place. It's like, oh, you want a bigger? Okay.
I'm keeping people awake
That'll
right
be
now.
50 bucks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh man. Boo 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 boo.
So Dawson, if there's 24 different options, what
There
are the
are not.
4 you're gonna choose
I will choose the ones that I
of
think
the
got
gender
along.
variations?
I will choose the ones that I think succeeded the best. At the end, there will only be 4 of you to face me, but you'll all be equal enough to fight me.
So we could fight you one-on-one if we're equal enough to fight you?
But
No,
then
it's
we
talking
just
about
gang
4
up
of
on
us
you and we just
combined are
murder
equal
you in
enough
like
to fight
2
him.
seconds.
All
So
4
we have to make a Megazord, is what
basically
you're saying.
yes.
We are the Power Rangers.
You'll be the Nazi Rangers.
Nazi Rangers.
Go Nazi Rangers. At the end, there will be 4 of you, and you'll all be able to fight me. You will have to use everything you have gained up to that point to defeat me, though. And only then you'll still only be equal to me. So you'll either,
Oh,
so during the
uses
fight you'll have
Flash.
to gain
It's
something.
super effective.
That's one of Cole's universe powers. One of them, he's got magic cart powers.
Yes, and then Connor would be like, Connor uses magic missile. Magic missile! Magic missile!
Air quote magic missile. Oh wait, does
Just
that come?
non-stop says it and it drives you insane. Magic
Wait.
missile! Magic missile! Magic missile! Magic missile!
And
Magic missile!
Magic
Cole
missile. Is
is
that
Magikarp. Connor is annoying.
Wait, is magic
Um,
missile
Jacob uses heat rounds.
Yeah, I use heat rounds.
Wait, is
and
Connor's
I
magic-
All
just
this
rip off-
gold I got built
And
up.
then I just rip off all my abilities from Cthulhu Saves the World. I just rip them all off from Cthulhu's abilities.
You
yeah.
become Cthulhu.
The originality.
You combine with Bro.
Like Insane Strike, Nightfall,
You
All
will
this
become
stuff.
the embodiment of Cthulhu.
You become one
Unstoppable.
of your summon. Because basically Cthulhu is your guide throughout each universe.
So I can become Cthulhu slash
think-
Vincent.
At the
Go
end,
Cole.
you will be Cthulhu, Vince. You'll be
Hey, Cole.
Cthulhu, Vince.
So which one of you would you want to be your true self?
And at the end,
Well,
Connor
I
will
like
be.
making boobs bigger, but I want to be a chick.
At the end, Cole will be the god of
Futa.
Futa. God will be.
Like,
God.
I am just so torn.
There'll
You-
be a
you-
Futa.
You
so
gotta
can do
choose
both.
one.
And
You gotta
Connor
choose
will be the
male or
god of
female.
logic at
It's
the
a tough
end.
choice, Paul.
Can the third dimension for me be a Futa, Dawson?
That will be
Yeah,
an
And that can be the real one?
That's what we're saying right now. That is
That
what
will
we're
be-
talking about. Is you'll be a Futa and you can control both.
Yep.
Final Vince will
Control
be
both.
Cthulhu.
Always.
Final Connor will be like the god of logic. Like he can
God of
impose
logic.
he can impose his own logic on everything at
Turns
the
into
end.
Hera.
And then I have
Jacob just becomes the ultimate fortress.
Oh my god.
Destruction.
What
turns into
is
the
that
fortress
flying
thing from
aircraft carrier
becomes
Gurren
called?
Lagann.
Drums, the ultimate tank.
He becomes Daiguren.
He becomes
What is-
Vanguard, the most overpowered tank in PlanetSide 2.
Here,
No,
Yes,
he
I
goes
become
beyond.
the tank.
He
No,
goes
what
beyond.
do they call the flying aircraft carrier?
No, you become the level of that tank card that we created for you on Cole's account that one time.
T95.
I become a team.
He becomes a T95 summoned from triple MS1s
Made of indestructible. It's just indestructible
Yep.
by any means.
with 6,000 attack.
It defies all It can defy all logic, like I can.
But
Connor can
the
impose his
strange
logic.
thing here, though, is that my powers are based on the things the mortals have created.
Not like half your powers are based on mortals' creations, but the other half is basically based on my pure power, just limited in some way.
You're basically, I am what the mortals have created, but empowered by God.
what Jacob turns into.
Yeah, he becomes the Gurren Lagann.
Oh man, he just goes win mode.
He
And then
becomes
everybody
the-
dies.
He becomes
Yeah,
the Gurren
well, I
Lagann.
am Cthulhu, who is
Yeah, you are
who has to
Cthulhu.
become a true hero in order to unlock his maximum potential, so that he can destroy the
Yeah.
world.
You know what's sad? I just figured out though.
Hmm.
If you're
That I just ripped that entire story from Cthulhu Saves the World.
that too,
The
but
video
also
game.
What if, like, after we beat Dawson, there's like a story about what we do afterwards? It's
After-
just
after
a
you
bunch
beat
of
me.
nonsense.
after you beat me,
Like,
I continue to terrorize women.
after
it's
you
like
beat me,
Cole
all-
continues to terrorize women across
it's
the
like-
world.
Cole and Vincent continue on
As-
to successful tentacle.
Tentacle,
Basically-
infinite tentacle rape.
after you defeat me, I basically completely leave all four worlds and leave my influence out of them, so I can still watch, but I can no longer interfere in any
He
way.
gives us control over each of our worlds.
Yeah, each of you get a world to
Our
yourself.
pornography studio.
Each of you get control of the world that the main piece of you originally inhabited. And you know
Like
what's
Connor,
sad?
Connor will become like some teacher teaching people how to be evil.
The sad part is, all four of you are equal, so that means the three of you, the ultimate fortress, the ultimate god of logic, and the god of madness, Cthulhu, are somehow equaled by a Futa.
Futa! They can make people's
I
sex
kind of
organs
spaced
larger.
out like
Yeah,
the
we're-
episodes, dude.
Yeah, we're all equal, only I still have the brodom that is the other great old ones, which are equal to me, Cthulhu. So I have ultimate bro force.
I have
to
the
gang
loyalty
up
of
on
any
people.
woman I ever meet.
The only thing that'll be left of me is my ability is that you can all speak to me if you wish to. I can't even speak to you anymore if I'm not allowed
Wait,
to.
so
once you
Futa-
defeat
Wait.
me.
So Futa, I can get loyalty from the men as well.
Yes, you
Wait.
can.
So every person ever, including the old gods, because they have genders.
The old gods will be reserved to
You would
Vincent.
be
Loyal.
trying to corrupt everything.
They'll only be loyal to me. Your entire planet is loyal to you. My planet kinda hates me, but I don't care. I rule over it anyway, and the
Vince's world
great
is-
old ones are cool with me.
Vince's world is basically all of the old ones take over that world because he has allowed it to. He is.
I don't know. I feel like it would be interesting if all the greater beings of us all went in back into one central world, and just the chaos of everyone using their great power.
God.
That's where when you all finish and defeat me, you basically get my main world hub as your own, and then you get control over each individual world. And then I'm just gone.
You're
Like, you can
just
still
gone.
You
Okay.
can still speak to
yes,
me if you wish to.
After we see what all of us have come to do in the world, then You just have like the NC. Just
I
like goes
laugh.
black, and it's just like your evil laugh or something.
You need to work on that before we beat you and have all this happen, bro. You really need to work on that evil laugh.
Oh, get them laughing and just get a pretty.
Well, so 5 worlds. Here, random idea out of nowhere. 5 worlds. This world is one of them. Everything's normal. And this is the central hub.
Yeah, I feel like after Dawson dies, like the other 4 worlds would be destroyed, and then we'd all be stuck into the central.
Yeah, they basically all erupt as you all leave and go to the different ones.
And then we're all stuck fighting for power over the central hub.
Like, they all combine into one
Good thing I've
giant
got the
world.
loyalty of every human on that planet.
You basically have...
But your power was limited to some extent.
and
You
now
can
it's
only
no
have so
longer...
many.
Now it's not because
only
I'm
got-
ultra mode.
You all have...
I
You can
mean-
all impose limits on each other.
If
You all have
I-
a limitation of some sort.
If I ejaculate, all hell breaks loose.
World's population doubled today. No one is sure why.
So are you basically trying to say that Cole has control of all the mortals and it's us 3 versus the world? That's what it turns into.
Well, Vince has the old gods. Jacob, you have basically all inanimate structures.
Oh, yes.
Connor has
I feel
the
like you want
laws.
those people in that building collapsed.
Connor has laws of time and space, like
Connor has the laws of
Connor
logic
can, like,
themselves.
reverse time back and forth.
That's his
I'm okay
power.
with this. Cole
He has-
Cole has power over has power over organic beings. I have power over physical things.
The
Connor
only
has
thing
power
he
over
can't-
time, and Vince just is like whatever. I got the old god.
Basically, Connor has power over the immaterial.
Which would
The
be
image.
which is also dark matter, since it's the opposite of.
The
matter.
only thing you can't
Yes,
touch,
because I have power over matter.
the only thing you can't
Zero
touch is the
matter.
very fabric of the world, and you can't touch the time where you defeated me, so you can't go back to there. You basically are stuck.
Can I go before it?
Also,
No.
you can't touch the strippers.
It's like a
No
beginning
touching.
of a
That's-
new
that's a
era
rule.
of time. Everything that happened before has ceased to exist.
Oh,
Yeah. Everything that happened before is no longer available to you all. You're basically stuck in the timeline that you created after you defeated me.
So basically, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. So I can just chill and not kill people anymore.
Okay, so Cole has direct influence over humans. Jacob has influence over inanimate objects.
Yes.
Connor basically writes the laws of the of physics and the universe.
And I
Yeah.
run everything considering it's me plus the great old ones
Yes, but
that
the
can
old
just
ones are
whoop on everything.
the old ones are still limited in this respect.
So,
though,
so basically, Cole has got control of the human race and just like, come down, moon,
So basically,
crush
yeah,
the world.
me and the Bro Force rule everything while we're awake, and then we sleep for a few hundred centuries, and then we come back and we're
And
like,
then
hey,
chaos ensues.
we're back.
yes, but then again, during that 100 centuries, you don't know what happens. So
Basically, we're just Blake Tybers.
Yeah, so we're not hip with the times. So
however, if I control time,
and even then,
I can send you from current time to forward
You-
time.
you can't necessarily touch other people's time, but you can just reverse the time around you as it is.
I feel like you have
So
the
you
power
can
to travel
travel
time
through
yourself, but you don't influence time. You can just like time travel all over the place.
Now, you basically, you all just have direct manipulation over the world now if you come together, which you were supposed to do anyway, because you had to come together to defeat me. Now you're just hating each other.
Yeah.
I never said I was hating anyone. I said that we would come into power, myself and the great old ones. We would do great things with our power. We would stabilize the economy. We would put
The
together
economy
a good
run by
justice
Cole.
system.
Run
the
by
economy run by me. I could just make everybody stop buying everything.
He runs
You don't-
all of this. That's
Cole
why
doesn't
I
have-
have to use inanimate
Alright,
objects.
Cole
to
won't
work
have
with.
direct power over the universe itself, like direct power over humans, but he can influence them. He basically gained my power of influence.
I feel like it just turns into this thing where it is just all of us versus Cole.
The great General
But
Futa.
So, Cole,
You have control of the human race, and we are just trying to stop.
basically
So-
at the end, I split up my final powers and gave them to you as you defeated me. I gave my influence of humans to Cole. I gave my power over the laws of the universe to Connor. I gave my powers of random phenomena to Jacob, and I gave my powers of madness to Vince.
Random phenomena.
You basically
Phenomena.
have. Yeah.
Dooba-dooba.
Oh no! Black hole has just gone.
Phenomena.
A black hole has just floated past the Earth. Oh dear, it's all gone.
Cole decided that he wants to be.
Jake-
What do you
Jacob, a
got
random
to control
phenomenon.
now, huh, Cole?
So
I still have the
haven't
people
really been
inside
paying
my
attention.
separate
I've been
world.
kind
I feel like
of
you don't
dozing
have
off
madness
a bit.
powers, Dawson. I feel like you have free will powers that you would
I'm
grant.
gonna go to bed
Basically-
soon, but I've been kind of
My freedom, my free will is my madness, and that it is not restrained by anything.
Alright, so I would have free will to do as I please.
Basically, yes.
And I would not have to kill people who came within 5 feet of me.
Yeah, you basically can't. Because the whole point of you coming together to fight me is that you all overcome your limits so you can defeat me. Because until you overcome the limits, you can't beat me.
Basically, the puppets become the puppet masters.
It's not that you become puppet masters so long as you finally became a real boy.
I feel like my character is a lot like the card Limit Break.
Or if it was a really dull story,
You bring
and then
out
the
like
end
a
have to
useless card, but it wins.
Yeah.
Or it could be like the super dull story where in the end, after this epic fight, we just return as normal people as if nothing happened, and that's it.
And amnesia.
The end.
At the
Story
end,
over.
at the end, you all decide that the world was better off when you weren't super powered freaks controlling the universe. And so you
Actually, I
just-
would never decide that. I would decide me and
It's in
the
the
great
script,
old
you
one
have to.
bros would establish
Yeah,
greatness.
I would probably want to stay a Fuda forever if that
Yeah.
happened. Oh man.
because that's every human's dream.
What is
apparently.
self-control when you can be a Futa that controls the human race?
When you can directly manipulate human mentality in some form, you don't want to give that up.
And physical
Like, you have power over
stuff.
stuff like that. You don't give that up so easily. Why do you think I got...
control the animals too?
I was
that a
so...
thing?
It was... No.
The other, the fourth dimension of me is a dog. He's not very difficult to convince that I'm the real one. I just had to give him a bone. He was like, yeah, sure. And then I had sex with a dog. Oh god.
You're a Fuka, but that is a horse stick. It's a horse stick.
Alright, guys.
fourth
I'm actually gonna
dimension-
go to bed because it's late. So,
Alright.
talk
Fourth
to you guys
dimension
tomorrow.
of
I'll
you
start
as
the call
a
again.
dog. It's like Connor's
Bye-bye.
pet.
Damn it, I wanted to make the call.
Nope, you don't get to.
Can one of me be a guard of war?
No.
What if in the end, Dawson comes back but as a mortal? And now we're more powerful.
I'm basically a human that you're not able to touch, who just gets to watch what you do now.
With his crystal
We can't
balls!
kill, we can't
Basically-
kill you, but you don't have any powers, so you're just
The
like
one-
sulking there.
The one power I have left is that I'm immune to all four of you still.
Guys,
That's
you-
all I
You
have.
realize how perverted and gross this idea is, right?
Very much so.
Just because I'm in it.
It's your fault, damn it.
So no guard of war.
No guard of war.
And no dog Cole that Cole
No
ends up
dog
having to have
Cole.
sex with to
No
absorb
dog
it.
Cole. No dog Cole.
What about
Yeah, I
sheep,
feel-
Cole?
Sheep Cole.
Sheep, yes, sheep call.
Dolly the sheep.
Horse Cole.
Horse Cole. Centaur. It's a centaur, damn it.
In his quest against evil.
Or Pig Cole. I was Snowball. I was Snowball. I
Combat
experienced
Snow.
loss.
Comrade Snowball.
Yes, I feel like giving full power of the human race is important.
You'll eventually figure out which human it is that I am, because eventually you'll figure out the one you can't control.
The one human that doesn't get duplicated every time I masturbate.
And then you'll just like have all of your humans torture.
Oh my god.
Because you can still use humans indirectly to attack me.
At least you guys can interact with people like normal human beings.
Well,
Because
see, Vince,
Connor
you don't.
looks normal. Cole looks like the girl if he keeps it tucked away. Jacob can turn into a human being. I am a giant part dragon, part octopus, part man thing.
Hey, at least you didn't lose all of your powers and only retain the ability to be unaffected by those that you created and your ability to project yourself. That's all I've got. I project myself as a useless form.
I feel like this is just going to end in me attempting to commit genocide versus Cole's armies.
Just a bunch of machines.
It is just us fighting while Connor and Vince
Tons
are
of
just
tanks
doing whatever they
against-
want.
While Connor is doing whatever
Organic
Connor does,
tanks.
and then human tanks, war of the human tanks.
Yep. That's what that game was based off
Just
of.
be asleep.
Yes, I will use my power to convert some human into having the ability to
So,
turn into
I
tanks.
figured out,
Fight.
I figured out how Connor will fight back against you.
And the people will build organic tanks.
How
People
would-
decide
Go
by Connor's physics, your tank rounds will just fly back into the barrel.
Oh god.
By Connor's physics, that's what will happen.
Hey.
By Connor's physics, that would also mean that Cole's stuff would fly back in as well.
How would cyborgs work?
You? He's like, oh.
They would
Like-
fall into the jurisdiction of. I'm going to say.
It depends
Oh
on
yes, Cole,
like
if
it's
we
a
make
percentage
cyborgs,
thing. It's a
Yeah.
if we make
percentage thing.
cyborgs, then we can both control them because I have control over inorganic matter.
It's like a percentage thing. Like if it's 51% human, I have control. If it's 51% robot, Jacob has control.
What if it's 50-50?
Well,
Then
actually,
it explodes.
Jacob, not only do you have inorganic matter, you also have non-sentient matter, so plants are also your thing.
Yeah. Plants versus.
That's a bad idea. He can just be like, hey, plants, stop producing oxygen.
Look,
Yeah.
I can already like make the moon crash into the earth and kill all of his people.
And then that'll just wake me up and be like, I'll just get up out of my bed and relay and just be like,
You're like,
it's high, and just be like, what's going on?
Jacob, you can't forget about the separate world that is inside my giant horse cock.
it's true. I can't get to that. I just have to wait till you spit them out, and then I can destroy.
You can just destroy them then, and then they come out again.
Don't underestimate Connor's power in all of this. He can change your physics. He
Oh
changed
my
the
God.
physics of the world.
Well, considering I'm gonna be a pretty neutral factor at the end
Yeah.
here,
It's
I'm
me
not
versus Cole, and then you're neutral, and then Connor Connor's like basically the left.
Connor's a troll.
World.
Eventually, you all attack at once and just destroy the whole world. Then I'm just left laughing at you.
Yeah, you're just left in space, constantly feeling like you're suffocating because you
Still
can't
laugh-
die, floating around.
Well, he said that we couldn't affect him. He never said he couldn't die.
Basically, once you destroy the world, I've got pocket dimension, and then I just restart the whole thing over again because you destroy each other and I get all my powers back, then then it begins again. It's
But
an
we
infinite
can't
cycle.
be destroyed. Well, at least
Yep.
I can't.
Yeah,
All of you are equal in power, therefore you can all destroy each other if
Yes,
you decide to
we can all
become, if you
destroy
decide
each
to
other.
attack each other.
I'll
at
just
once.
like
Talking
I'll
about-
just grab one of my great old one bros and just put him in front of me.
they can destroy the
Knock
great
shot
old
for
ones.
me, will ya?
They have enough power to destroy the great old ones.
Yeah, and I'll use them as meat shields, and then the world is
Yes.
destroyed, and then I'll be good.
Oh, Cole, we can team up
Eventually-
against Vince.
Yep.
You will all
I
eventually
will
die.
send all my women.
Fighting the old god.
I will send all my
Yep.
women to their tentacle rape.
You'll all eventually die. Your powers will hurt me.
That will be like the follow-up series. Us versus Vince and the old god.
That'll be like part 2. After you all came together and
Why
defeated-
would you team up against me? I am the one person who is not trying to kill you.
If anything, I would warn
Well, if
Moria.
we teamed up, then no one's trying to kill us,
Well,
so we're
no,
just trying
well-
to kill you.
First, in part 2, will start as a war between Connor and between Cole and Jacob.
Yes,
Then
it'll
eventually-
start with the war between us.
Yeah.
For control of the
between-
world.
Then eventually you'll figure out, you know what? Team up. Team up.
You
Team
know,
up.
you know what? this guy who has the old gods, he's a bit of a jerk. We should just kill him.
How am I a jerk?
Okay.
Even though it's completely neutral, he's still a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a jerk who sleeps most of the time, and when he does come around, wants to create social order,
He just
stabilize the
You
economy,
occasionally-
create a good justice system.
He just wants to restabilize the world after you two fighting in it. Then
Yeah,
puts
the world
is
is just gonna be completely destroyed, and he's like, what's happening now? It's
He
just
puts
like
it
a
back together.
wasteland.
He puts
Oh.
it back together for you both. Then you both get to
Huh?
go back to killing each other again.
Chunks of the planet missing because from the moon slamming into it.
Vince puts everything back. And Connor
Vince orders his old gods to move it back.
Connor
Get out the
stops
super glue, boys.
Connor, Connor stops the world. Vince fixes everything. Connor restarts it. Then you both kill each other again. Or try to kill each other again. Connor stops the world. Vince comes back, fixes it. This cycle continues until you both team up and try and attack Vince because he keeps just setting all of your.
fixing everything!
See, because at this point, Vince and Connor are
Vince tries to team
trying
up
to-
with her to fight back with you.
they're countering what we're doing. So in that, they're effectively going.
So
against
at the end, Jacob and Cole revert to chaos, and Connor and Vince revert to order, and so you end up a
Yes.
split force again.
Chaotic neutral.
And then this whole time, you are trying to find
Except
a way
you'd be
to
chaotic
kill
evil,
each other
Cole.
to gain your
No.
power back.
And then
Chaotic evil.
And then
No.
you realize that this whole thing started with one thing creating four things that
Nope.
came together. They created two things, then they destroyed each other and became one thing again, and then it just begins again. With one thing creating four
we
things.
come together to be new Dawson.
You all come together, and I take over again with my
No, we
singular.
don't come together to become
destroy
New
each
Dawson.
other.
We come together to become the Beatles.
No, you're the Beatles.
That's how it ends!
You came together and became the Beatles when you came and defeated me.
Alright, Vince can be the singer. Connor can use his high-tech stuff to set up all the equipment. I can make all the instruments and stuff just work. And then
I can make the people.
And then you make all the people just love it, even if they hate it.
Like, technically, couldn't I
Like
influence
Yellow
the human
Submarine
race
is a
to
terrible
spread
song.
throughout the cosmos?
Say it, 'cause Cole said so.
Yep,
What?
I said, couldn't I, like, influence the human race to, like, spread throughout the cosmos, so even if we did destroy the planet,
Wouldn't just be Earth, but you and Jacob would be.
Control of the inorganic matter, so you're like, oh, you want that spaceship to go up? It exploded.
You and Jacob would still be flying throughout multiple
We
planets.
would have to work together for either of us to progress. Because you are the
That's
people
why you
I-
eventually team up. It becomes the force of Jacob and Cole versus the force of Connor and Vince, order versus
Yes.
chaos,
Futa tanks versus tentacles and brainiacs.
which eventually destroy themselves and create freedom and non-logic
Tentacles,
again.
pocket protectors.
But it's like the
Tentacle
very last episode.
nerdy tentacle rape.
Where they're
Oh yeah, well, cyborg
in their
foolishness.
wind world. And they're like, we're free.
It's nerd tentacle rapist versus cyborg foolishness.
Yup. Oh my god.
They destroyed.
Though I
but
would want to remain neutral in all this.
you wouldn't be given a choice anymore because they would directly
Yeah,
assault
you
you.
would be like, too bad, we're gonna kick
Then
Yeah.
we would. If okay, let's say those two directly assault me. If I've got Connor on my side, plus however many great old ones there are,
They're about 100-ish.
yeah,
They
100 great old ones who are equal to power in us,
They're
with
not,
us,
though.
then
They're not equal.
Because your great old ones basically become fodder. They're basically fodder for you.
They're not fodder.
They
they
become
are-
fodderized.
They are the great old.
It doesn't matter because
They are lesser gods in this
Vince,
situation.
the point we're at, where we beat the god that created the great old gods,
and create everything.
We quartered his
Well,
power.
The great
between
old
us.
gods, who I'm assuming hated Dawson, couldn't beat him, but we could, so they're obviously worse than us.
No, they were bros with Dawson.
I was bros with them, but they were still weaker than me. They
Yeah,
could not
but-
defeat me.
Yeah, but since we quartered the power,
You still cut the power into fourths, but it's still not equal. But the old ones are still not equal. They'd be like sub bosses.
and we did
basically.
remove every limit that was placed on us.
Yeah, you
He
did remove your
becomes the greater gods, and the old gods are still the lesser gods.
the old gods are still powerful, but they're not going to be as strong or be able to equal.
Yeah.
Or
But wait,
above.
doesn't Connor dictate the rules of the universe so he
He
can
will
make them
dictate.
greater?
He can't affect the power of individual things. He can only affect the laws of the world itself.
Like
Yeah.
physics and time.
Physics and time.
But he can't revert back past where you basically create a new universe.
Strategy against Vince. We stall him out and then kill him while he sleeps.
We're gonna make one of those stories like the Magica story.
Well, see, that's the thing, though.
We have to go like back.
The thing
Restart all
is,
over.
no
So
one
that-
can access relay while the great old ones are sleeping. So
Okay.
We just have to wake you up.
You wouldn't. The thing is, you wouldn't be able to wait until he sleeps because Connor could just freeze time entirely, so he would be in a completely active state until he deems that you two are no longer a threat. Which is not going to happen because together, both forces are equal, so they'll end up destroying each other.
okay, here's the
I feel
deal.
like,
Um,
well, what are you offering us where we don't murder you?
here's the deal. Cole is a person, right? He's just food, right?
Yes.
He's an almighty
So-
god. Food
So mortal.
no,
he
he's
is
not.
Kyber
equals
Septum.
mortal. Build tank equals can decay. Brainiac equals mortal. Great old one, immortal.
We did remove all the limits placed
Yeah,
on us, though, so
all
we
four-
removed mortality.
All
pretty
four of
much.
you are
But we're not mortals. We just
Just like when you defeated me, you didn't.
like
kill
our
me
base
because I was
forms
still-
are mortals, but we can go beyond.
Like,
Basically, that's why I'm still alive even after you defeated me. I'm just powerless and just have to wait.
Wait, don't I have free will to do whatever I please?
You have free will to do as you please, but you're still not power. But you're still in equal power to the others.
Yes.
So I have
So-
free will to do as I please, so can't I just please to not die ever? To
Well,
anything?
You can do as you please, but you can't control the world in that sense.
I mean, I suppose if Vince just chooses to not die, then we would have to kill ourselves,
Basically-
not our armies.
basically at the end, you're going to do with each other what you did to me, and make yourselves powerless again. Which is where I come back into power. I give you all four of you your powers again, and split you up into 16.
Whoa! Cole, what if the plot twist is that in all this chaos, we end up destroying each other and ruining our powers, and then what's left is just like this spacefaring mortal race that starts conquering all those aliens out there.
yes.
And I lead them because I decided I wanted to.
Well, no, we're all gone.
We all kill each other. We
We
explode.
all-
Actually,
and then-
one little bit
then
of
it's just
tentacle
all
flew
five
away
of- and
and
then-
regrew me.
All four of us as
It's
unkillable
octopus.
mortals meet up with Dawson, and Dawson's like, "Really, guys?
Really, you fucked it up
Good
already.
job. You ruined each
You
other's
guys
house.
made it 2 days.
I expected this to last.
You only made it 2
Damn.
days. It's God.
Now, you know, look,
Now
a
there
reset,
is no gods. What do we do now?
and
like-
I just flipped the re-switch set.
Like,
I just
even
flipped
if we
the
all
re-switch.
destroyed each other, I feel like at least one little bit of tentacle would be left. And
There would-
because octopus powers, I would just regrow.
I don't think that's what Octopi
Once you defeat each other in the giant war between both opposing forces, you're all going to basically take away your own powers. You're going to have none of your powers left. They're going to disappear.
And then
Then they will
the Star
return.
Trek series begins, and we get to be like the Enterprise crew.
I'll basically go through a hibernation of about a century, and then that's when I begin things anew.
I am every red shirt that ever existed.
Well, I was thinking like all five
And
of us
Kirk.
are just mortals now.
In
We're
that
just
time,
like, well, there are no more gods anymore. Might as well just
Yeah.
join the mortals in their quest.
in that 100-year time span between when you lose your powers and when I begin things again, you get to create at least one memory which you can remember through your.
All right, I'll create the memory of
Cole and
what button combination I used to beat you.
So
I
you're
think
also.
Cole and I know what
AB,
we would be
AB.
remembering.
Up, down,
Yup.
left, right.
Infinite tentacle rape.
The
my
moment
God.
you both came together, and that's how you know the method that you're going to need to use. to come together and reunite again to fight me.
If
So you're going to basically learn each time something new, so that eventually you'll be able to get the world right.
Hey Cole, who would you be?
Even though I'd probably remember Infinite Tentacle Rape with Vince every time.
So it's left to just Jacob and Connor to pick something progressive.
Actually, since I was doing everything right the first time, I don't have to remember anything new. Like,
But it
they were
also gets
just messing it
scammer,
up the entire time.
which
with
is
their-
why you have to try and remember something that you can use against that later.
Hey
So-
Cole, if in the end all 5 of us were mortals, and then we just had to go with what the mortals were doing, and we became crew of the Enterprise, who would everyone be?
I would be all the red shirts.
You would be all the red shirt.
All of the red shirts.
I have shirts.
But
Who would
at
you be,
this-
Dawson? You get to join us.
He
Because
I
was
you're
would
a mortal
gay
too.
Asian.
I would be the Enterprise itself.
You would be the Enterprise.
He would be the warp drive.
You would
Okay,
no.
have
You would
fun
you would
being
be like Q.
They go through like 13 of those a season, buddy.
Doesn't
you
matter.
Dawson, you would just be like Q. You would be. You wouldn't have had your full power yet. You'd just be like this demigod messing with us.
Q, so he doesn't even come around till we're all dead and gone.
Whoa, guys.
Because he doesn't come around till Picard and those dudes.
Yeah.
Did you know Seeing
Well,
Eye Dog?
Well, yeah, but we're like immortal mortals.
Guys,
like, we can't
Seeing
die
Eye
if we
Dog is
don't
a
have any
trademark
power.
term.
Really?
Yep. Yep, it's where they train Seeing Eye Dogs.
Where?
The Seeing Eye is a guide dog school located in Morristown, New Jersey in the United States. Since 1929, the Seeing Eye has assisted people who are blind, helping them gain independence, self-confidence, and dignity through the use of Seeing Eye dogs.
Of which
And
there
it
will
has
be
a
people.
documentary. It has a documentary that was produced in 1951.
There. In the end, that's what Jacob's form will be when he's fighting Vince. That'll be Jacob versus Vince right there.
Oh my god, I was scrolled all the way up to the top. Did
He'll
you just
become-
send what I sent earlier?
I sent a better picture though.
Oh, okay.
He will become the Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. The final form.
Win mode.
That's how he will fight against Cthulhu's forces. Here's another one.
Yep.
That also happens.
I need to stop clicking on the links.
They are spoilerish.
I'm not even that far yet.
Yes, that is exactly what I will become.
By the way, the full Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann robot is the size of our galaxy. Like, actually, it's larger than the size of our galaxy. Like, its foot could stomp us.
Guys,
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not big enough.
Yeah, but
it's
its
not big
power,
enough to stop you, Vince.
its
Nope.
power is much larger than it is.
that's a volcano from space.
Dude.
Cool.
Sweet.
Its power is much larger than it is. Still not big enough. Not big enough power.
It's
Nope.
still equal to you, though. Because it's Jacob, and he's an almighty god.
I will tentacle it all over the place.
It doesn't matter, it'll still be equal to you.
Look, man,
It'll
be-
get all slimy and just fall
it'll
apart.
be this epic battle of like us,
Yep.
me
Jacob-
and Cole fighting you, while in the background our tanks and humans are fighting your old gods in just this giant battle.
Now that Cole is basically my non-logic, he'll be fighting Connor, my logic part. So it'll be Cole versus Connor and Jacob versus Vince. In the end of this. When the two
Yeah.
forces collide.
But
They'll
we
be the
sort of
top.
made like these somewhat alliances of our groups.
You basically
Um,
decided, you came together and you decided who you would be fighting individually.
We
Got
came
a new
together.
VDA
That's
border.
kind of gay.
Banner.
It was a circle jerk,
We got a new VDA banner.
really. On the way to VDA now.
It looks better, in my opinion.
It does, because it's got the background ones, and they actually put the Violent Dueling Academy on the bottom of it instead of just not just off to the side.
I like how we've gone into more detail of what we will do after we destroy Dawson. Not
Yeah.
not the actual story of the first season, which is before.
Yeah, like what we do before then and how
Well,
this all works.
Didn't
how
we already decide
figure
that
out-
I would freaking... You know what? Free will? Can I create things with my free will?
You can basically influence free will. You can influence creation in a way.
Influence creation.
You can influence it with your free will.
So are you going to make it to where like all of Cole's humans can't have babies?
But your free will basically amounts to madness that comes from the old gods.
Well, not all the great old ones were mad.
He's got Cole. He's going to counter you by making all of them have abortions.
In the end, though, you're going to all be equal in some way, so you're all
But
going to have your
would that
counterparts.
really matter, considering Cole technically has infinite clones of everyone?
Well,
He just spews forth more.
You can never beat me. Humans are
Yeah,
infinite.
you're already beating yourself, Cole.
I need help. My arm's tired.
That's scary.
because you've been too busy hitting yourself.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing.
It's might
Hitting
sound
myself.
like I'm
I don't
hitting
think
myself.
Jacob knows what we're talking about.
We're talking about cabbages. Oh my god. That
Cole, do you
is a
still have that
reference
link? Do
to.
you still have that link?
It is somewhere in my messages to you, which I don't want to look for right now.
Well, see, Dawson, if there are infinite universes, then that means there
I
is a
say
universe
that, but I'm
out there
opening.
where all
Yeah.
of these events
Right,
are
right now.
occurring.
In the end,
Everyone loses except for the world.
in the end, everyone loses except for me because I still got a kick out of it, and that was the whole point. The whole point was for me to enjoy watching this.
Yep.
Okay,
I
so
feel
I
like
have
in
free will, right? I have free will over creation, which means I could make a Pokemon, which means I could make Gardevoir, and
Yes,
then
you can
Cole
make-
could work on Gardevoir.
Yeah.
That's I'm fine. You can have that. That's a thing you guys can do.
Woo! Cole,
Combo move.
But you won't figure this out until like the 5th run through all of it.
no, we
all of
won't.
its-
We will. That'll be the first thing we
No.
do.
Oh my
That's how
god.
you achieve peace in the end. After so many recreations, you eventually figure out that you can do this.
No, we already figured it out, dude. That's the first thing we're gonna do.
Because after several recreations, you finally get the sense to ask me the final limitations of your powers. Because in the end, you still have one limitation, and that is that to create what you want, you have to work together in some way to create it.
Yep.
We make
Cool.
this one.
That's what happens.
We make the Pokemon universe.
So after several run-throughs of me just laughing at your asses, at you fucking up and destroying yourself,
And then, as punishment for Dawson, we throw him into the Pokemon universe as Ash and say, "Have fun,
even though
Have fun. Stuck with a 10-year-old forever.
have fun."
in the end, I'm the one who told you how you could create all of this that you
but we
wanted.
still hate you anyways, and we're just like, "Have fun catching those Pokemon, sucker."
Just because I've been laughing at your asses as you destroyed the world, recreate it, allow me to take over again, then you defeat me, do it again, do it again, do it again, until you finally get the sense to ask me what the fuck
It's
you're
just
supposed
like
to
you're
do.
in eternal damnment of being stuck in the Pokemon world.
You
Even though-
obviously don't know what to do either. You get your ass whooped every single
but the
time.
plan was-
Yeah, you don't change anything. You're
the
just
plan was for me to
whatever.
get my
We'll
ass
do
whooped.
the same thing again.
The plan is for me to get my ass whooped until you eventually.
Until we just stick you as... What's a crappy
Are
thing
you
for
like one
Dawson
of
to
those
be?
people that are
Like
trying
the whole-
to teach?
The whole
Or
point
are
of me
you
giving
like
you
trying to teach a lesson to people that
that was the
always
whole
follow
point.
up with your hatred?
That was the whole point of me giving you guys the ability to remember things from each past timeline and to add to your information. It was so that you could eventually figure out that you could just ask me what the fuck you can do, and that you could finally solve all your damn problems. That way.
No, I think what the actual lesson here is that if someone is bullying you, you just make sure you take it out on them and take them to eternal damnment
And
in
then
Pokemon.
just kill everyone within 5 feet of you.
Even though I wasn't bullying you, I was giving you free will to do it as you please.
Actually, only me.
You had Vince is the embodiment of free will, but you still had the ability to do as you please.
Yeah, I was pretty much a human in the first place.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Cole. So if if we're throwing Dawson as Ash and making him stuck in the Pokemon universe forever, are you going to join in?
You know what? Let's make him an even worse character than Ash. Let's make him Brock.
Dude, Brock is kick-ass.
You get to be Brock.
Dude, Brock is kick-ass. I don't care what you say.
You know what? Not even Brock. You're not worthy. You're Team Rocket. Yeah.
I'll take that too.
Yeah, you
Team
get to
Rocket.
we split you into
Make
two
him that black
people.
chick in the Unova region.
That's going too far.
Never saw that. I never saw that movie.
I have not
Do
seen it either, but she's like useless.
Let's do it.
Yes, we split you into two people.
At least make me Misty, damn it.
Nope, no.
Black chick
Misty's almost attractive.
Almost.
Well, the pictures that I have of Misty are attractive.
That's what I thought.
Misty herself.
Should we also join in on the world just to further torment them?
Actually, you know what
You
I'm
guys
thinking?
become the Elite Four that I have to face.
And we become unbeatable.
The Elite Four.
What I'm thinking.
What I'm thinking
What?
is the nosebleed-inducing dresses, Dawson,
What are you
from
talking?
a certain someone at school.
Oh my. Do you mean that one?
I do mean that one.
What are you guys talking about? I want
What
to
are
know.
you talking about?
Nothing.
Tell me.
Nothing.
Come
We
on,
as gods
guys.
demand to know.
We deserve to know if they're that good.
Sorry, nopes.
Why don't
You're not a god anymore, Dawson.
I know, because you reduced me to basically a mortal human status.
Oh my
You're
god,
just
if I had that
one of
power
those
though.
humans stuck in the universe of Pokemon.
I was made a mortal human status. And don't
Brock.
forget, at the end, you still can't you still can't manipulate me in any way. So you
Wait,
still can't send me to the world of Pokemon.
when my limits are removed,
But see,
does
look.
that mean I can fondle?
Oh, look. We can have Connor
Yes,
make
Cole.
Yes, Cole finally gets the ability to
genius
fondle
and
in the
make
end.
a portal to the realm of Pokemon, and then Cole's armies can force you to jump through it.
Like, you can make me go in there, but
Yeah.
you still can't control me as I am in there. So I'm basically an immortal
No.
human me in that world.
Yeah, but then you find out that there's another god in that realm.
So
That
we put
is
you
whatever
in
the
there.
name is of the guy who made Pokemon.
Arceus?
I think he means like the human guy.
Nope, Arceus.
Yeah, the actual guy who made Pokemon.
I am subject to based Arceus.
And he's scripting everything that you do as Brock.
Thank you, based RN Jesus.
I'm not even. I'm just me thrown in there, immortal human mode,
Oh,
and my
man.
life's gonna suck because
Yeah.
I'm not 10, so I don't get any Pokeballs.
Yep.
You don't get. I don't have any Poke Dollars, and I can't find a job, so I can't get any Pokeballs to catch a damn Pokemon.
And you can't get out, you can't get out of your home city because there's grass on the only exit.
And there are Pokemon there that I can't fight.
I do like the idea though of us being like the Elite Four.
You just
that he
have
has
to punch a
fight.
Pokemon out. You have to punch a Pokemon out and then carry it to the Pokemart, buy a Pokeball, and then capture it.
I'm like, this bitch is mine now. I beat the fuck out of it fair and square.
What I'm thinking is there's gotta be a system where they sell the hides of Pokemon. Come on. I mean, like, they're animals, technically, in that kind of thing. And they're kind of,
Hey,
you know...
Cole. You
kill 'em
could-
and skin 'em
You
and
could
eat
be
them.
like every single NPC in the game
Yes.
through your power over people.
Oh yeah,
There's
and
some that are animals, like Zigzagoons.
Fun
Those are
fact.
animals.
and
But
the
then there are
Pokemon.
some that are people, because we want them to be, like Gardevoirs and
I could be Nurse
Lucarios.
Joy. I could be Nurse Joy, and then Dawson comes up and he's like, I need you to heal this Pokemon. I'm sorry, we're out of business.
Closed right now.
Closed. We
Yeah,
closed as soon as you walked up to the counter.
Vince
Fuck, I'm gonna use
and
that.
his team of Vince and his three other old gods get to be the team of 4.
No, 4 other old gods get to be Elite Four, and Vince is the Pokemon champion.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, so you
No,
finally
I am
made
the
it,
dude.
Dawson."
I am that dude who you never know about, who does like there's a reason all this Pokemon hentai and everything exists. Is because it's all real, and those Pokemon actually look like that. You just never see them because they're all chilling at my pad.
Those are the
I
old
just-
gods.
It got all of them. And, you know,
Like,
all those uglies and everything, they head out into the wild, have fun being caught by some random dude.
then I guess Connor gets to be like the professor guy at the beginning that gives you a Pokemon, Dawson.
He's
Professor
the
Birch.
professor. He's the professor.
Birch is best.
That is all Connor gets to be in this story. He's like the least powerful out of all of us in this alternate
He's the one who
universe.
sends me on my adventure.
Yeah,
just
he
to get
sends you
fucked
on your
over.
adventure.
Just to get fucked over.
Vince is the final boss of the game. Cole is
Not the
every
final
single
boss,
other
okay?
NPC.
Nope, Vince just gets to be
No,
unaffiliated.
Dawson gets to your penthouse.
Well,
Where
actually,
he then has to fight you in your army of Pokemon.
Dawson.
in each of the Pokemon games, there's always like a Pokemon mansion where there's some pimp daddy who just owns like expensive shit. So that's probably
Yeah,
Vince.
that's what you are.
He's the pimp daddy Pokemon mansion master.
So then it's just the old gods are the final boss.
Save that picture that you sent
Just have to
like a minute
fight
ago,
Cthulhu
and
his
then
team of Pokemon.
put X's over Kamina's eyes. You bitch, I'll kill you!
It's not fair.
Dawson, just imagine like Cthulhu in Pokemon, just like throwing out Pokeballs.
It's Tentacruel.
Yeah, and yes, all
Tentacruel is a Pokemon master.
Cthulhu's just like Tentacruel, I choose you.
Uh,
Nah, I'd be in human form.
I
So
created.
fuck all y'all. I'm gonna have
created-
sex with Gardevoir.
I
Nothing you
created
can
the
do about
world.
it. Also a female Lucario.
I
So
created the world. I created you guys. You overthrow me, then you destroy each other. You overthrow. I create. You overthrow me again. Eventually, you learn. Then you send me the world of Pokemon. I'm stuck there.
and
As-
then
Yes,
I
then you are
do
stuck in the world of
I
Pokemon.
do Pokemon. Very hot sexual female Pokemon.
Cole,
Yep.
Cole gets to be the NPCs. You get to be that creepy guy. Connor's just the guy who gives you a Pokemon.
Connor is mom.
He's your. He's your mom and the professor, the two people you meet in the
He is
beginning.
your mom, Dawson. Yeah.
Who gets to be my rival then?
Or Connor could be your rival.
I did. Well, technically by story, I did
if
originally
Connor's
make.
your mom, then I guess I could be your rival.
Actually, by the story, I originally created Connor as a logic to counter my non-logic, but I didn't like it because it was too weak. So he could be my rival after all.
Yep.
Ooh. So even though he's an almighty god, he still loses to my non-logic that I possess, even though I have no power with it.
And then Jacob is the Pokeballs.
Yes,
He is
I
the Pokemon.
am the Pokeball. You have to spam.
I feel like Jacob should be the
you have to
professor then.
spam. What is it? A or B is the myth
A, I think.
to try to appease me as the Pokeball god. Like, oh yeah, keep spamming.
Oh yeah, keep hitting that button.
Oh, yeah,
Faster,
keep
faster,
spamming.
faster.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Pressing
good.
that button doesn't help you, and I know it.
So this started out as like us talking about
Superpowers.
In this
We
realm
just talked
of
about.
Pokemon, it definitely does.
superpowers. We were like, what superpower would be really good but not crazy overpowered? And then I go, boob manipulation.
No, you said boob vision. I turned into boob
vision.
manipulation.
Yeah, boob vision. And then boob manipulation came from that. Maboobulation.
If you had
name.
left it as Vision, he would have been so
Eventually-
much weaker of a
Yeah.
god.
And then eventually Jacob had to make it to where I'm the almighty god narrator. And then I decided to give myself a limitation that you guys
No.
can defeat.
Jacob said narrator, who kind of
Yeah.
influences some things, and then I'm like, Dawson is God.
I became god.
Yeah, I was saying you were just gonna be like the Stanley Parable narrator.
And then eventually I gave myself
It's
a
like,
weakness.
why would you do that?
Eventually,
I go through this door.
not only was I a god, but I was a god who gave himself a weakness to his own creations. I didn't have to make
Point
it.
is, I'm going to bed.
Guy.
Good night,
Uh,
everyone. I'll
good
see
night.
you guys tomorrow.
No, you
Talk to
won't.
guys tomorrow.
You'll hear us, but you won't see
I'll
us.
talk to you guys tomorrow.
That's
Unless
better.
unless you use a picture of yourself for your Skype, like I do, like a normal person.
That is a picture of me.
Oh,
That
hold
is
on.
not a picture of you, Cole.
Hold on. I've got one I can set. Hold on. Well, actually, that is a picture of me because it's Kamina.
You wish.
No.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
Kamina is...
If it were you, you'd be dead.
But Kamina was the manliest man to ever man ever.
No,
Yeah, but
Ross is.
You know, yeah, Ross is the Superman.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because Kamina is the man's man of all man. That he is the greatest thing to ever man.
Never even seen Senyu. You have
Like-
no right to speak.
I don't
Ross-
have to know
Ross
that.
could give a thumbs up, and Kamina would fangirl his pants.
Yep.
I guaranteed that Kamina is a bigger man. In every sense of the word bigger. There you go.
I guarantee it.
You know what Ross's superpower is? It's whatever the hell he wants it to be.
So basically, it's like what I do.
Ew, ugly just
Only
appeared.
better.
No. A wild ugly appears. What do? Run, run! Trainer battle. No.
That was before my haircut a
Trainer.
few weeks ago.
Trainer ugly challenges you to a duel. Run, 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 run.
I feel like I would be on the opening screen where I get to type in my name, and then like one of you would run over and just like type in a name for me.
Oh my god.
One of you would run over and just write Dick.
Oh my god.
This is the diff
Night,
that
guys.
makes. All right, night. Now I'm changing my picture back to Kamina. My shoulders look way too broad in that picture.
A little bit.
That's because I was leaning against a wall at the time.
Hey, Cole, we won. Look, our two rivals are gone.
Yeah, we win. GG.
Yeah.
I will now reward you both. You get the remainder of their powers.
What do you want? Logic and physics, or chaos?
And free will.
Chaos.
He wants the free will powers.
Okay, then I'll take
Oh,
physics.
it's the old god.
Freaking, I can spawn people and fling them at rapid speeds. Just like the human railgun.
You just turned yourself into a human railgun. Congratulations.
You,
Look what
Oh
I
my
have
God.
got.
you task your humans at building a railgun to shoot themselves at us.
Honestly, I am happy with my creations.
The human
You have all done
railgun.
well.
Yes, I will make sure it is a very powerful railgun. Using my power only.
I'm happy with what I created here. This is the
Don't
kind
worry.
of
Hey, Cole, I got an idea. How about we shoot Dawson out of it?
Oh my god.
Can't die. It'll just hurt so much when he hits that wall.
Ow. There would just be a single ouch.
This
Ouch.
is the torture you get.
Just
Ouch.
over and over. Just bring him back and then.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Or turn
Ouch.
humans into like walking magnets.
Ouch.
So like,
That's-
oh man,
Stop hitting yourself.
just
Stop
stuff
hitting-
people, stuff people into like giant electromagnets and see what happens.
You would start shooting people at me. Dude, what did I do to deserve this? I gave you power. Ouch.
You
Ouch.
Oh my god.
haven't you ever learned? This is what happens in story.
I even made it possible for you guys to defeat me. I could have just made you all weaker than me. As I'm having bodies
You
flung
have
at
taught us a lesson. Now it's time we teach you one. Never make your creations be able to equal you in power.
people flying over my shoulders.
Just shooting. Well, if we don't shoot you out of it, we'll just put you on. We'll just tie you to a wall and shoot people at you.
Can't a man get some sleep?
Can a man get some sleep around here? Oh my god.
That would be my dilemma. Flung at me. No,
Ride, chocobo.
I want to ride a chocobo. That'd be sweet.
And,
So I
and
need-
then at the end of the whole thing, it's just zooms out that from like editing the movie, and it's just us sitting there like perfect. We're done.
We're done.
We're done.
The five of us.
It's a
just
great
sitting-
It was
movie.
a 17 and a
So
half
in the
hour
movie-
long movie. But
So
With-
in the movie, we were making a movie.
It's 17-hour long movie with several overarching plots and several world recreations being done, with several final bosses, just culminating with it zooming out so you can see me being slammed with bodies.
Yep, and then us zooming out for like, that's a movie well done.
That's what you get for giving people free will. They beat the fuck out of you by
Wait.
shooting people at you.
That was a good movie we made. Wait,
Yeah.
where's Dawson? He's just like, "Mwah." So it's like we were making a movie about what was happening in actuality, about what was happening in the movie.
And it turns out the whole time there were no other universes. There were just the four of you who came together. You had powers. They decided to make a movie about what was happening and decided to get.
What if the plot twist is that we made you, and then you overpowered us, and then we ended up overpowering you in the end?
Eventually, the story goes that we just forget who created who, and so I just allow the bodies being flung at me to continue because I don't even know if this is how it's supposed to go anymore.
Director, is this how the story's supposed to go?
I chose the last thing to remember. I chose the wrong thing to remember at that last reincarnation.
Well, you see, I remember whatever I want. The problem is, I just have a shitty memory.
Imagine if you're just like strapped to the wall, and the guy's coming up with the thing, and you're just like trembling in fear, and it's like, and action.
I maintain the same mind throughout every reincarnation of the world. You guys only get to remember a fraction of it. Even then, I just don't remember shit because I'm just shitty like that. So I just end up forgetting where I'm supposed to be.
And so in the end of the movie, all versions of you in all the universes end up getting shot at by people's bodies.
There's not even multiple versions, there's just one. I'm the
Just
only
one version of you.
Big shot with the ultimate railgun.
Yeah. An ultimate railgun that was made by a combination of all of our alternate selves, which is infinite.
Using the power that originally I had.
Using the power you had to torture you to never death.
I'm immortal. I'm having bodies flung at me with the power
I feel like this is the point where you're just like, I wish I was not immortal now. Just let it in.
I want to die now, but
suffering in, please.
I'm immortal, but I wish to die.
You make me
I never
wanna
thought
die.
I would wish to die, but having people flung at me is too much.
With the power that I gave them.
The power I gave
strength.
them. Oh, and then Cole can also like enlarge their parts as they're being flung at you to make it even worse.
Quit launching fat food. Quit launching
giant-
fat food at me.
A giant penis just slams into your face. Like make a guy's like penis so large that like he doesn't really have a body left. And just shoom.
It's just like
And the railgun?
coming out of a railgun. It
This
just like
railgun.
stabs through your chest. Just
And
stuck in you.
can a
You
guy
can't
get some
die.
sleep around here? There's the spear.
That was the spear.
Where's the laser? Actually, don't tell me. Never mind.
Oh, I forgot the laser.
The railgun is several galaxies long, and it's big. I'm just having shit flung at me.
Yeah. Occasionally, when we stop shooting at you, you just have this break of like a few minutes, and then out of nowhere, just.
Damn it, not again!
Oh, maybe I can finally get some sleep.
I need sleep when you can just like. It's Futa God.
Eventually, though, we'd have to find a new torture method. He would get used to having
Like,
people's genitalia.
I'm like,
flung
bitch,
at
this is like, bitch, I'm like, this, bitch, this is like 4chan for me now. This is the only thing I can get off to now.
Don't blink, people like-
Having giant penises speared through me.
Next torture method. Tiny paper cuts all over his body. Over and over again.
Yes.
As soon as one heals, it gets replaced.
After several thousand years, I get used to this. I'm like, what are you gonna do now?
Then we just do the penis flinging again.
Yeah, we just rotate it.
I'm still immune to it.
Make a chart of what to do over the next.
I'm still immune to this one. You better do something else. You have to wait until I eventually run out on that one.
The subject appears to not be affected as much by the torture. We need a new method.
And then you eventually figure out, let's set him free.
What if?
Tie me up, damn it! Tie me up.
What if we set him free, and then that is the torture?
They set me free. I can't stand life without being bound.
Oh my
I
god.
tried to kill
You've been
myself,
tied
but
up for like 6,000 years. And
We will not allow him to get the pleasures of torture he had before until he returns.
I try to kill myself, but I can't die.
Perhaps we can assist you with that. Fire the railgun!
You just sit there like you try to hang yourself the first
This
day
time,
out,
however,
and then you
instead of
just sit
shooting-
there hanging for 1,000 years.
This time,
This
however,
isn't working.
instead of shooting people at you, we're going to shoot tiny pieces of paper to make paper cuts from a railgun.
You just combine them all into one.
Paper cuts.
It's just like complete.
It just rips an arm off. Like rips an arm off, the arm comes back.
It just like magnetizes back to him. What if we cut it off and then we just like shove like a furnace in between him and his arm and just locked in there?
After 1,000 years of each thing, I get used to each one until you run out of. You will eventually run out of shit to do to me.
The last thing we do is force him to watch the ending scene of Angel Beats on repeat.
No!
I don't think there's any getting used to that.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Every now and then episode 8 of Gurren Lagann will be thrown in.
You switch it right to Kami's
now,
death scene.
Yep, just right to the death scene and then back to Angel Beats.
Damn it, this isn't fair.
Where's your god now, Dawson?
Dude, what if Kamina appeared in Angel Beats? He didn't get to have a normal school life. He died before he got to have that chance.
Yep.
So somehow he ends up in the world of Angel Beats.
Technically, he did get his dream, though. He did make it to the surface.
Yeah, but that wasn't his only dream after that. He eventually got a new dream.
Yeah. But he made it to the surface.
Just
And
to find out that the whole reason he went there wasn't there anymore.
And he ended up taking over the strongest Beastman mech. So he was like...
Even though it's not.
Dreams... Well, at that point, what they knew about strongest Beastman mech.
Well, he knew there were more. He just knew that was one of the strongest ones they could get. Ever. Because it's like one of the top 5 in the world.
Even though its blind spot is right above it.
Which is, like, fuck.
It's like,
If Dawson's wanting to die, then I feel like the ultimate torture would be finding a way to kill him and then just revive him. He's like, we'll put you out of your misery.
Ultimate torture. You kill yourself.
Like, we lied, ha!
Ultimate torture. I get my power back from the beginning.
oh, man.
I can't take this shit. I don't want ultimate power.
The ultimate power is that we send you back in time to repeat the whole thing, but we make sure that you can't change it.
Or
So
like,
you know that eventually we are going to beat you, and then from that you are going to get tortured for millennia.
After several repeats of several timelines, you're eventually going to beat me again, and we're going to end up here again.
Yep. We hinder your powers to where you cannot stop us from beating you.
My ultimate torture will be that I'll have all my powers again still, but I'll still have to eventually end up at the same fate. And now my fear has become the world's going to become boring to me, and that even though my original intention was to gain entertainment from the randomness that was going to occur, I already know it's all scripted at this point.
It's all scripted.
I think this would be good. We send you out into public, like no control over you at all. Just send you out into public, let you live a normal life for a while, and then like you're talking to like whenever you talk to a woman, we make it so that you have a very large and painful erection.
Yes, but I would eventually get used to that one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make it like raining cats and dogs, but people.
Just rain people every time he talks to a woman. Just I'm sorry.
I eventually become God again. Then you all try to communicate with me. At the end, I'm like,
You don't feel like
so why did you do this? The world was unkind to me.
Possess those who you try to speak to and test you, and if you fail, it'll be more torture.
Eventually, you all give up your power to give it back to me, just so you can all reclaim it again one day.
Yeah.
And you ask me, what was the point of all this?
We give it back to you with the hitch that you can't change what is going to happen.
Because of the nature of my power, I can't change what I already set going.
So you will forever gain almighty power, unrivaled by anything, just to end up being tortured by being shot at by a railgun.
Because I created randomness, I also gave you all the ability to manipulate it however you wanted, in a way, so you were able to turn it into non-randomness. So it basically became Connor's logic power overtaking me eventually, so the logic eventually defeated my non-logic by creating a scripted world.
Yep.
It's a long-ass script, but it eventually reaches the same end every time. Connor finally got the last laugh of me casting him down.
Yep.
Even though in the end he always gets defeated by the force of you and Cole, and he has power taken away.
The last laugh is mine.
He still gets the last. Connor still gets the last laugh out of all of it.
Yep.
Because he knows that logic, that a scripted world has been created. He has created an ultimate order in disorder. Because even though the world is disorder, there's still an order to it.
Until I give him boobs.
Like, it's the perfect combination of non-logic with logic.
Well, see, look, if you do that and he becomes the reverse gender, then how will that change how he looks at time and how he interacts with it?
It doesn't matter to him because he still won in the end. He still beat me.
You were beat by a girl, haha, Dawson.
In the end, I was still defeated because I decided to limit myself and to not give myself all the power I could have. I decided to make it possible for my creations to beat me eventually.
And now that we beat you once, you can't change it to where you...
Not only did you beat me once, you had to beat me several times over and lose to yourselves to actually finally win. But you finally won in the end.
But now...
In fact, it all comes back to Connor finally winning because he was the original one that I made. I wanted him. I wanted logic so I wouldn't be bored, but the logic turned out
what about Vince? Because Connor ultimately beats you. Me and Cole ultimately beat everybody because at the end we're just torturing you, and then Vince
actually, even though he was a main character, he's still regulated to a pawn in the end.
He's just a pawn.
You all became pawns to Connor's ultimate game of logic.
Even after he's dead,
even after Connor's defeated, in his game of ultimate logic, he still wins.
Because he gave us the reason of sending you back to restart it all over again.
My whole punishment, my entire hell, is that I know it's all going to be repeated. No matter what I change, it's all going to be scripted again. It's all going to come to the same end and be repeated. And I'm going to be bored as fuck out of my mind for the rest of eternity.
Yep.
That is
what makes it great, too, is when we go back in time, we don't know any of this.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening because all you do is get to remember one small bit of it.
And every time I pick the tentacle rape scene.
He always picks the tentacle rape. Vince always picks the tentacle rape because he doesn't care. Connor just picks, like, important details and the fact that he won. That's all he remembers.
He just picks the fact that he won, that's it. I feel like I have won something so valuable, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
He remembers the feeling of winning.
That's all he remembers.
I remember I won something so great.
that feeling of winning is enough for him to let himself be sacrificed every time. After several cycles, he lets himself be sacrificed once you all come together to defeat me finally and actually come together. You all eventually figure it out. He
Yes,
lets himself
it'll
be
be like one of those final boss things where you're about to beat us, and then Connor is like, "I will not let him win." And he
sacrifices himself. Thing is, even though I'm already out of the picture at that point because I've still been turned into an immortal human, he's basically sacrificing himself just so you two can take over. So you two can create the infinite loop again, which will eventually.
Yes, because he needs us to make the infinite loop.
Thing is, it's infinite loops within an infinite loop because I created an infinite loop for you all to go in that changes each time, just so you can eventually figure out a way to
your
defeat.
infinite loop after a few tries.
Like my original infinite loop, it stays each time, but the thing is, it changes just enough to where at the end of it, you eventually take over. You make the ultimate infinite loop. That's basically the infinite loop I create of randomness becomes the exact same thing over and over. I intended it to be random, but because of what you guys did in the end, you made it scripted. You turned my infinite randomness into a script. You wrote it down.
Scripted torture forever.
That's my ultimate. That's my ultimate punishment. My ultimate defeat is that you were able to record my randomness and make it scripted.
And in the end,
In the end, nobody wins but Cole, because Cole has futas.
Cole still has infinite happiness.
And at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 38 seconds, I'm gonna say that this recording is finished. Thank you. And good night.